Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hopefully, you're having a great week. Welcome back to another edition of I Could Be Wrong. Good to see you, bro. Nice
Thanks,
background there.
man.
Looks like you are in a beautiful place, if you were actually there.
The beach
Uh,
in my loft.
Hey, I love it. I love it, man. So sometimes you just got to visualize it to make it happen. So, but yeah, good to see you. I know yesterday we had some difficulty connecting, which is perfectly okay and understandable, but hey, it is what
Pregnant
it
wife
is.
life, man.
Hey,
It is what
it
it is.
is. It
What-
is. I
She
knew.
hasn't been feeling good, so we
Hey,
haven't been sleeping, so I straight passed out.
I don't blame you, man. I knew after about 15 minutes or so, where you didn't reply, I was like, he must have passed out. We'll just probably connect later. So
Exactly what happened.
it's all good. Anyways, we are here to talk about week four real quick. A couple of takeaways that we have after 4 weeks. And then we'll preview the Thursday night game this evening between our 49ers and the Rams, or what is left of our 49ers and the Rams. We'll
Yeah.
get to that in just a little bit. But let's start with week four. What stands out? What stood out to you? What are some takeaways that you have from week four?
The Ravens are just really bad, unfortunately. All that talent they got, they're just bad.
Yeah, I would
And
agree. I actually wrote that down here. That was one of the last things I wrote down is Ravens self-destruct again. Yeah,
I told you I thought they were going to come out and, hand it to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs did what the Chiefs do. You know, they they won a game that they needed to win, and they did it in Chiefs fashion.
yeah,
You know, so that stood out to me. Same thing as throughout the year is more 49ers injuries. What's going on?
yeah,
Like I don't know who said it, but someone said something about their training and conditioning or their strength and conditioning team, and how they just must be the worst of the worst if they're just giving them Flintstone vitamins or something like that instead of actual stuff they need because this is unprecedented. It's not just this year. We can go back several years, and the 49ers are the most injury plagued team in the last decade
yeah. Especially when it comes to major injuries at key
for key
positions.
players.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So,
So, I mean, there's a lot more obviously that stood out, but being a Niners fan, that's one for me. And then
okay.
the Ravens defense is just they got to do something. They
Yeah,
need to do something
yeah,
because Derrick Henry's not getting any younger. Lamar
yeah.
Jackson, he's going to eventually get fed up of trying to win in Baltimore, and he'll be on his way somewhere else. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I don't know about that. It's possible. Anything's possible in today's NFL.
This is true.
But you know, I think that when I called it out last week, like again, I was surprised at how bad they were. And then um, I think this week just confirmed it. But what else stood out to me from that game was the reports of the Kansas City Chiefs' demise were greatly overestimated. Now that they got a little bit of help, and then once Rice gets back, they are going to probably take another step forward. And I don't think you can write them off yet, to be honest with you. I'll talk about them a little more here when we get to our next topic. But I think that's the other thing that came out of that game is Kansas City's not quite dead yet. So
Yeah,
uh,
not at all. Not by any stretch of
yeah,
the imagination. I
yeah,
mean, Chargers did lose, you know,
yeah,
so they're not far behind them now.
yep. So um, one of the other things that really stood out to me, specifically from week four, and it was after we kind of gave praise to a lot of our other a lot of the other quarterbacks in the league is a lot of the quarterbacks that had played mistake free through the first 3 weeks did not
Yeah.
play mistake free. So a couple examples: Herbert two interceptions, right?
Yeah.
Baker had a good game, two touchdowns, one interception, but the one interception was a horrible decision on a first down in the
Yep.
red zone where the ball got picked in the end zone and basically killed any chance they had of coming back. Um, I mean, not Mac Jones. Indiana Jones, Daniel Jones, two
Yeah,
interceptions after having none the first 3 weeks of the season. Lamar, two
Lamar.
turnovers, an interception, and a fumble. And then unfortunately he got injured. Hopefully he's not out too long, but that came out of that game as well. And then Brock Purdy, who probably should not have even been playing, but I think he was probably
Oh,
the healthier of the two at the time between him and Mac Jones, and that's why he
right.
played. As far as yardage, great, 309, but that's because we gave the ball back to Jacksonville 3 times and had to play catch up the entire game. So two interceptions and a fumble from Brock. And then Geno Smith, another guy who last year and couple previous years has looked like he's had a revival. Has again gotten off to a rough start this year. He had 3 interceptions in week 4 as well. So a lot of surprisingly poor quarterback play in this
Yeah.
week in particular. So it'll be interesting to see if that continues or if it was just a bump in the road for some of these guys. Um, Hopefully for a lot of them it's just a bump in the road, especially Brock Purdy. But we'll see.
Yeah,
So
we'll see. I think for a few of them it will be,
yeah,
guys like Lamar Jackson tend to bounce
yeah,
back,
yeah,
but we'll see.
yeah. We'll
That
see.
defense doesn't get it together, he might just find themselves in bad positions to have to, force the ball and try to make plays and just turns into turnovers.
Yeah.
So, how much of that for him can you even attribute to him? It's just he's in bad
It just
situational
happens.
football
Yeah.
because of bad defense. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it usually happens when a guy's trying to make a play. That's the way the turnovers usually come about is they're trying
Yep.
to, take that big shot. They got to be a little take a few more risks, right? Be a little
Risks. Yep.
riskier with their play.
Yep.
That's when the turnovers come. So yeah, I got a feeling that if they do not win, if they don't win against Houston this week, the Baltimore Ravens chances of making the playoffs are basically zero, I think.
I think
Because the
so.
Steelers are better than what I think most people anticipated, even though I don't think they're a strong 3-1. They're 3-1, and you are what your record says you are. So, yeah,
They
I
have
don't
a
think,
future Hall of Fame coach and a future Hall of Fame quarterback right
yeah.
now. The stud wide receiver, Kenneth Gainwell, showed out last week.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
he did.
he will get a lot more opportunities moving forward, even if
Yeah,
Jalen Warren is healthy. Jalen Warren's not a big guy. He's never
yeah,
struck me as like the guy.
yeah.
So I think like you said, and of course they always have that good defense. So
Yep.
yeah, I think you're right. The
I think
Steelers.
Baltimore. This is a must-win for Baltimore this week
Yep.
for sure. So. All right, so obviously season's a quarter of the way over,
Yeah.
right? For the most part, I know they play 17 games now. So basically a quarter of the way over. Um, let's talk about who you feel like in the AFC and NFC your favorites are as far as Super Bowl contenders. Who you I think a couple of them are pretty obvious, but who you think you anticipate seeing in the end?
Well, right now, if I only had to pick two teams, I'd still go with the Eagles in the NFC because they're finding ways to win, even though it's ugly. And they've been there, done that, right? If I'm going in the AFC and I had to pick a team, I'll just pick Buffalo straight up,
Okay.
not even a question. As of
All
right
right.
now,
Yeah.
they're playing the best football in the AFC right now. They're undefeated. They have top three quarterback. Some would say he's the best quarterback in the AFC. But you got
Yeah.
Patrick and you got Lamar and those guys over there. I could throw Burrow in the mix, but he's not healthy, so I won't. You know, Justin
Yeah.
Herbert's playing well this year.
Yep.
If in the AFC, if I could throw a team out
Go
there,
ahead.
would be the Chargers because they are playing well. And I know they lost last week. I know they lost, but they were in it. And they're just going to go through some growing pains. But Hampton's going to do phenomenal as their full time back, which I believe he will take over as full time back moving forward. And Quentin Johnson, man, everyone was writing him off, right?
Revival.
Revival. Dude is having a monster season. So you've got the vet also, Keenan Allen. You've got Lad McConkey. I mean, they have a stellar offense. Their
Yeah.
defense is good. They have another potential future Hall of Fame head coach. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Chargers could make it in the AFC right now, and
Okay.
if I could go another team in the NFC, then that's tough.
Yeah.
Detroit's got a good record, and the Rams, they got a good record, but I mean, the 49ers got a good record too. So, and
Yeah.
we're battling injuries. So I really still think it's just the Eagles at this point in the NFC, with probably Detroit's the closest team to them right now.
Okay. All right. Um, so as far as your two favorites, I'm going to agree with you. I agree. Buffalo. I think Buffalo's the favorite in to win the Super Bowl. Period. No matter what conference, in my opinion, right now. Just
Yeah,
based off of a couple of factors. Number one, they're most likely to have home field advantage in their conference based off their division they're in. Nobody really is going to threaten them in their division. Um, like you said, they have Josh Allen, but I think more importantly, we've seen James Cook kind of like just continue to get better and better. You think he's what scored 8 games in a row now, 8 or 9 games in a row.
yep,
And obviously that's that's how you win in the playoffs is your running game, right? The only thing I would have pause on with Buffalo defense, they're 30th in the league right now. And again in the playoffs, that's the run game comes into play more often. So
that matters. Yep.
that's the only thing that gives me pause. But other than that, I think I agree with you. I think they're the most complete team playing the best football right now. Although they could be on upset alert this weekend. We may talk about that Saturday. So, but in the NFC, I agree. Philly. I'm going to go with Philly based off the fact that their offense is in the bottom. They're like number 29 in offense. Defense is at the bottom as well, bottom third of the league as well. They're still 4-0. They keep finding ways to win. And that just lets me know their experience, like you mentioned, they've been there, they've done that. So based off the fact that they have the experience and they're 4-0 without any of their playmakers really getting going, I still think that they're the favorite. So I agree with you.
Just wait till
Uh,
they get going. I mean, assuming they get going because
exactly.
they're studs. I mean, they got
That's what I'm
Saquon, they got
saying.
Jay, they got AJ. Like,
Yeah.
man, they get going. Like, oh shit, everyone might just want to watch out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think once they get going, we're probably going to see them take it to another level, of course. One thing that's surprising is the Philadelphia Eagles have the most negative run plays between the tackles in the league this year
Wow,
so far. So
damn,
again,
got me with that one.
so yeah, I was
Wow,
surprised when I heard that this morning and read it as
wow,
well. So I think that it's similar to the 49ers. What the Eagles are missing is the same thing the 49ers are missing. 49ers are missing it for a different reason because they have a lot of injuries, but they're missing out the big play. And that's what the Eagles
right.
are missing. That's what we haven't seen from them like we did down the stretch last year. So once they get their guys going, I think once they get those big plays going, the Eagles are going to be again one of the favorites, if not the favorite. So I agree with you.
Speaking of the Niners, right, and they're just like not had those big plays yet. It's a crazy. PFF has their offensive line pass grade at 7 and their run block grade at fifth.
Wow.
So it's not an offensive line problem, apparently. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, I need to. I disagree because I've been watching the games. Uh,
I don't
uh,
know. I was thinking the same thing.
so yeah, yeah. So yeah, that you caught me off guard with that one. So
Yeah.
now in the NFC, if I was gonna throw a second team out there, I like you mentioned Detroit. I can't argue with them, but I will say Detroit has the number one offense in the league, but they've struggled against good defenses. Struggled against
Yeah.
Green Bay defense, and I know you can look at the score last week, right? They scored 34 against Cleveland, but if you really look at the game, they scored 2 touchdowns off of turnovers that were inside the 20, their own on Cleveland's own 20, and they got a field goal off a turnover where they only gained 16 yards and ended up kicking a field goal. So if you take those away, I wrote it down here. I think yeah, they had 10 possessions, and out of those 10 possessions, they got their 3 other scores, 17 points. But other than that, they had 5 punts, a turnover on downs, a fumble, I'm sorry, an interception, and then they had one where the game ended. So essentially, they only scored on 3 out of 10, 30%. So I don't think Detroit is quite what the numbers say they are.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the team that I told you was going to be sneaky good and played, and they also played Philadelphia very close. And
Yeah. I figured
minus
you were gonna say this.
minus one play from Baker. They very well could have won the game. Come back. I'm going to go with Tampa. I think Tampa's the closest right now to Philly. And I like their offense. They were missing Evans. Godwin was his first game back, and they hung in there with the champs. And I think as the season goes along, they get Evans back. Godwin gets healthy. Their defense is number 4 in the league. So I think I'm going to stick with Tampa because I got faith in them. I
Let
just
me
got.
just say this. That dude at Buka is nasty. He's
Oh
good.
yeah,
He's so good.
yeah, yeah. They
No,
have the
you're right.
scariest. They have the scariest if they're all once they're all healthy. Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
scariest
that's
receiver room. Oh wow.
yeah, one of them.
So
Right with the Chargers. I like the Chargers receiver room too.
I do like the
Keenan,
Chargers.
Ladd, and Quentin Johnson. That's a trio. I mean, that's
Yeah. Oh
pretty
yeah.
good.
Can't argue that.
But
Can't argue that. But yeah.
I mean, damn, yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Tampa's got a squad.
They got a
So
squad for sure. Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. I just didn't want to steal all the teams. I could have went with all the four. Could have went with the undefeated and the one loss teams.
could have, could
You
have.
know.
Yeah. I think that Tampa is probably they played them really close. And like I said,
Yeah.
Baker, that was the first time we saw Baker play like the Baker in Cleveland in quite a while. It's definitely all season. It was just a bad decision. Like as soon as he let it go, he's probably like, oh damn, I should have thrown that one away.
On
Um,
first down
yeah,
too.
that was the
No
killer.
need to
Like
take the risk.
if it's third, not even really third down, because but if it's fourth down, of course you got to take a chance. But first down, come
It
on, bro. Throw that thing
yeah.
away. Throw it
I mean,
away.
it's like, wasn't it it was fourth down on the play Brock Purdy threw the touchdown in the corner of the end zone, right, to win the game.
Yeah,
Like that's
scramble.
understandable, But
Yep.
if he had thrown that pass on first down, I'd be like, what the freak are you doing, man? You
Yep.
know? So
Yeah.
it's different, situational football. But
Ooh,
I trust
situational
Baker.
football.
I trust Baker.
Yeah, he's definitely grown quite a bit since leaving Cleveland, obviously, and I think you got to put him in. I wouldn't say he's in that Mahomes or Josh Allen class, but he's in probably that class right below those elite guys.
Yeah. I think the thing is too, like honestly, just like we're sitting here talking about it, like we've been playing football and we're playing quarterback for
Yeah,
20 plus years. No,
true.
he's probably watching the film going, damn, I shouldn't have thrown that on first down. Like I could have got
Yep.
he knows. I think Baker
Exactly.
knows. He doesn't need
Yeah.
us to tell him. But
Yeah, that's what I was saying. As soon as he let it go, he was probably like,
yeah,
"Damn, I should have thrown that thing
exactly.
away." So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too
So
funny.
you live and you learn, right? And if they meet again, he knows they know they can hang with Philly in Philly's place, right? And
Yeah.
do the thing. So I think they'll be very confident if they meet in the playoffs. So
Be a good matchup.
definitely. So all right. So let's go ahead and talk about the Niners game coming up this evening.
Wait.
What
I'm gonna use your famous line. 49ers still have a team?
yeah. Uh, they do have a team.
Uh,
I don't know if we'll know a lot of the names that are on the team this evening. So yeah, a lot of injury news, of course. You touched on it earlier. I don't think anybody that follows sports doesn't know about it because it's an ongoing story. It's kind of like a sitcom that just won't go away. So already, if you haven't been made aware, Brock Purdy's out, Pearsall's out, Jennings is out. Pretty sure the water boy is out. The guy that brings the towels, he's probably out. I everybody's out. So Mac Jones is starting. They said no restrictions on him this week. He's fully healed from the knee sprain that he had, so that's
nice.
good. When he did play and filled in for Brock, he actually was more efficient than Brock. Didn't throw us for as many yards, but he was more efficient as far as protecting the ball. So that's a good thing. I think obviously it goes without saying the 49ers got to play mistake-free football. That's the number one thing to even have a chance this evening. So that'll be
Yep.
my first thing that I say, and then I'll let you kind of turn it over. I'll turn it over to you. What are some of the things that you think need to happen, or what do we gotta see for the Niners to even have a chance or to win this game tonight?
We got to see a big game out of Christian McCaffrey. And hear me out. I mean, on the ground, he's had like Christian McCaffrey type games, I guess you would say, where he's balanced in the run game, balanced in the passing game. We need to get him going on the ground. We need to get our ground game going. Period. Point blank. End of story on the offensive side. On the defensive side, you shocked me with the stat this week: zero pressures, zero sacks. I mean, I was watching the game, you know, but it's like you don't really
You don't
realize.
realize it yet.
Yeah. And now you think about it after you mentioned that to me, and I go, wow, yeah, it makes total sense now that they didn't get any pressure on Trevor Lawrence, and because he was just shredding them, he was just shredding them,
Yeah.
and just shows you the impact of the Bosa loss. So I need to see our defensive line have a better game, and if it's not going to be the defensive line, I'd love to see Robert Saleh get creative with blitz packages and get some pressure on Matt Stafford. So that's what I want to see. That's what I expect out of the Rams. I just think
Yeah.
they're going to play their style of football. They're going to come out. They're going to
Yeah.
ground and pound with Kyron, and they're going to get the
Kyron.
ball to Puka.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I wrote down again, same thing you said. I wrote down CMC has to have a monster game on the ground and underlined has to. They have to control the clock and keep LA off the field as much as possible. Number
Yep.
one, to give the defense a break and not be on the field all night and really be able to get a breather between drives. So yeah, I agree. CMC has to get going on the ground, not just through the air. If you look at the just total yards from scrimmage, it looks like, oh, he's been having great games. But again, you haven't seen those big plays. They just got
Right.
their first rushing touchdown of the season last week, which is again surprising for Kyle Shanahan, San Francisco 49ers team. Um, I think again, you mentioned it. They have to find a way to pressure the quarterback. I think they do have to get exotic. You got to bring some
Right.
safety blitzes, corner blitzes. You got to bring one of those linebackers from time to time, get creative. And that's the only way they're going to get pressure on Matt Stafford. We can if they just try and rush four, we saw last week, it's not going to happen. So,
Exactly.
um, and then the other thing is we got robbed of one last week, an interception, right? Looked to me like it was a clean interception. I didn't think that was
Game alter.
interference. It was, but you don't win or lose a game on one play, but that was a game altering play. It changed the
Yeah.
momentum for sure.
Big time.
And, but the other thing that the Niners defense has to do is they have to steal extra possessions with a couple of turnovers and
Right.
give the offense a couple extra chances with a shorter field. That's the other thing that they have to do, in my opinion, to win the game. And if they can do that, then they'll be in it. It's a division game. It's a short week. Both teams are on a short week. The only
Yeah.
disadvantage is the 49ers have to travel. But the good thing is they're traveling from Santa Clara to LA. It's not like they're going from San
Right.
Francisco to, New York or something
Miami
like
or
that. Yeah,
something. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. So thankfully, it's not a long trip. Hopefully, they were able to accommodate it and make it as smooth as possible. It's just unfortunate we're not fully healthy for a game that is really for number one in the division. Um, so it it is what it is. And then LA, the thing unfortunately is they know that CMC has to have a monster game too. So
Yeah.
that's what they're going to game plan for.
I believe
So
so.
it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And then I agree with you. I think on offense, they're just going to do what they do. They're going to line up. They're going to feed Kyron Williams from Notre Dame.
Whoop, whoop.
They're going to feed the beast there. Puka. It seems like Stafford and Devontae Adams have created some really good chemistry already in the first few games of the season as well.
Yep.
So, hopefully we can slow them down, like I said, get some turnovers and give ourselves a chance to win in the end.
That's all we need is
I,
a chance.
yep. I'm not going to give a prediction. I'm just going to say that I hope the 49ers win. And I know that they are an 8.5 point underdog, which means that Las Vegas has no faith in Mac 10 or CMC, or the Bourne identity. But hey, you know
Yeah.
what? I think that we at least, at the very least, cover that spread.
It's a division game and could be technically considered a trap game for the Rams because they're not very healthy, but they are
Yep.
professionals.
Yep.
And, Mac Jones has played well. He played with Bourne in New England. so they probably have some chemistry built, you know.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know.
You
Could be
you
some
mentioned
magic in the air.
I mentioned them, and you just mentioned them as well, Kendrick Bourne. Here's the other thing that we got to see. The 49ers got to catch the ball.
Oh my.
You got to catch the damn ball when it hits you in the hands. Okay. So we can talk about Brock Purdy and the bad interceptions that he threw because they were bad, but we're not going to try and sugarcoat it. They were bad passes, right? Bad decisions. Didn't put the ball where it should have been. But there were at least 5 or 6 occasions where the ball was exactly where it was supposed to be on crucial plays, and the receivers, no matter who they were, could not bring the ball in. Kendrick Bourne, I
Yep.
think, had 2 or 3. Um, we had a couple other guys that dropped some passes, and Sky Moore dropped one. I'm sure there were others that dropped that I just can't think of their names right this second. I'm sure Pearsall maybe. I don't know if he was in at that point or not, but they got to catch the ball, right? If they do that, we're talking about a different game, even with the 3 turnovers. So,
Right.
but we don't live in if land. We live in reality. And the reality is the 49ers lost to the Jags, who, by the way, are surprisingly better than what I thought. And I'll give them this. Their
Also a
coach,
3-1.
their coach has got some balls because there's
Yes.
no way on earth that I would talk shit to Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think Robert Saleh probably lost his mind a little bit when he said, "I'll end your fucking life." So that's probably crossing the line. But hey, I like to see that fire. Unfortunately, we don't play the Jags but once every 4 years, so it's not like that's a rivalry that's going to develop between those two teams.
Right. Too
But yeah,
funny.
it was definitely an interesting ending to the game for sure.
No
Robert
doubt.
Saleh said that calling them or saying that they were really good at legally stealing signs was a way of complimenting them. I don't know if I was a coach on the other side, if I would even give a shit that he said that, but I don't think I'd be offended by it. I'd be like,
Sensitive.
you're damn right. I'm better than you are. That's so whatever.
If it's legal,
Anyways,
it's legal.
yeah, if it's legal, it's legal. That's what I say. So. All right. Well, that's all we got, folks. Do appreciate you taking some time to watch. Again, if you have a moment, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, families, neighbors. And I'm gonna leave you with these last 2 thoughts. Before I do that, do you have anything that you want to add before we get out of here, bro?
Just go Niners, man. Let's just roll. Let's roll tonight. That's it though.
That's right. I love it. Go Niners. I'm going to hold out hope that we find a way to win the game. I think I'm just going to hope that LA doesn't take us seriously and they choke it up. And then I'm going to leave everybody with these 2 thoughts. One of them is the one that I always leave you with, but I'm going to leave you with a new one. Don't forget that division is a math problem. It should never be a people problem. And be kind. It is free unless you are talking to Cowboys fans. Peace.
Peace.